Hello, I'm Edward Lloyd-Rees, and I'm the team leader for radio communications at the World Rowing Cup. There will be over 200 radios in use by the volunteers at the World Cup, plus those being used by the media and contractors. Now, many of you will have used radios before at other events or perhaps even at work, so I'll just run through the key points for the setup and equipment that we'll be using in June. Finally, I'll talk a bit about radio protocol. We'll provide a card summarising the key points when you're issued with your radio. At the hub of the communications setup is the Radio Communications Room, or RCR. Here, a number of operators will monitor the 18 channels we're using for the event. They will be responsible for about 3 channels each, so please bear in mind that at busy times they may ask you to wait or stand by. The radio channels have been allocated according to functions. In practice, this means that many functional areas will have their own channel. The people you will need to communicate with, in the majority of cases, will be on the same channel as you. Your team leader will also be on this channel. There might be occasions when you need to pass information or receive information from someone on another channel. First, consider whether you're able to do this by landline telephone. If not, then call up the RCR, who will either find the information for you or will direct you to change channel. You should only change channel if you're told to do so by RCR. We will be using these digital hand-portable radios. They're different to the Olympic radios, but operate in broadly the same way. First, you need to make sure you have the correct radio. They're all labelled with a sticker showing your call sign. Each radio has a unique ID, which means your call sign appears on the display in RCR when you're transmitting. Switch on the radio by rotating the volume control. Your radio has a digital display which shows the channel it's on. Make sure it's the right one, and after that, only change if RCR tell you to. Once you've listened to make sure that you're not about to cut across another transmission, press the large push-to-talk button, pause for a couple of seconds, and then say your message. When you've finished, release the button, wait for a response. Because the radios have to cover a large geographical area, we have a repeater station which will take a couple of seconds to kick in. So if you forget to pause, your first word will be cut off. If you have any problems with your radio, let RCR know. With so many people using radios at the event, it will help if everyone follows these simple guidelines. Work out what you want to say before you pick up your radio. Transmit all the relevant information as concisely as possible, and try to speak clearly without covering the microphone. Listen to make sure no one else is transmitting. If you cut across someone else, neither of you will be understandable. Say the call sign of the station you're calling twice, followed by your call sign. When you are told to send, pass your message. At the end of each section, say over if you want a response, or out if you don't. Avoid lengthy transmissions. It is best to break them into short sections so you can check understanding so far, and in case anyone else is waiting to transmit a more urgent message. You might be told by RCR to briefly stand by or wait for a bit longer if something more urgent is happening. As with other large events, there won't be a general radio check or roll call. Some people might be asked by their team leader to check in when they get on station, but this won't be required in the most cases. If you have any doubts whether your radio is working, check it is switched on and the volume is turned up, and then call up RCR and ask for a radio check. If you have any problems using your radio, call up RCR if you can, or ask a colleague to do so, or contact us by landline telephone. Finally, remember that radio transmissions might be heard by nearby members of the public or athletes, so keep it clean and appropriate. There are certain words we will use for fire and suspect packages to avoid causing panic, but you'll be informed of these nearer the time. Thank you for listening.